Hello friends. So today we will see Happiest Minds presentation. It is in an IT services company. So we'll see the 5G analysis. So first we'll do enterprise, industry, financials, governance and valuation. First we'll start with industry. So the IT industry has already crossed 5 million in the direct workforce. It is in this year, and it has done highest ever net addition of 4,45,000. According to NASSCOM, the Indian IT technology industry has crossed 200 billion revenue mark, and it has reached around 227 billion in the FY22 period. So that is an overall growth of 15.5%. This has been the highest ever growth since 2011. And NASSCOM is also expecting an ambitious target of around USD 350 billion by FY26. So basically the IT industry will grow at the rate of 11 to 14% during this period. The global product engineering services market is also expected to grow at around 11.3% from 2019 to 2025. So there are plenty of tailwinds in the IT industry, especially after the COVID. The digitalization wave has certainly caught the attention of the world. So the cloud adoption and the digital space has been expanding at a rapid rate as compared to the pre-COVID era. Of course, cloud adoption has become a mainstay, I would say, and cloud adoption is still underpenetrated with only about 30% of the workload on the cloud. So it is a multi-year journey. It is not a journey of 1 or 2 years. So it has still a very long way to go. So next we'll see basically difference between digitalization and digital transformation. So what is digitization? Digitization is basically if you scan your paper, right? So whenever you scan a paper and you convert that analog paper into a digital format. So by basically converting anything of analog nature to digital is known as digitization process, right? Digitalization is basically, suppose you go to a mutual fund website, right? So nowadays you do not have to go to their face-to-face meeting is not required. You can directly complete the whole process of enrolling into any mutual fund directly through the online, right? So KYC and all other formats also can be done by using the electronic process. So workflow, basically automating the existing business process operations and processes, that is known as digitalization. And what is digital transformation? Basically it not only depends on the technology, but here technology is an enabler, right? So technology is an enabler, and it also depends on the company's culture. So basically everything electronic from registration to content delivery, that is what we will call as digital transformation. So here in digital transformation, people, processes and technology, all three marry together, and business outcomes are very important. So here what I will say is, here IT is not seen as a separate process initially like the cost center, but within the business as a whole, the IT strategy is inclusive of that, right? So that is the digital transformation. So that we have already seen that digital transformation and IT transformation, what is the difference? So basically in IT transformation, what we see is that digitization of information systems such as ERP to improve the productivity and increase the automation, right? And it is a siloed approach, right? IT transformation, because it will fall within the CIO, and the IT managers and teams will take the decision. But as we have seen already, that digital transformation, it spans all the overall organization. So people, processes, products and culture of an organization all are included into the one. Okay, and of course it is a continuously evolving process. So with the evolving technology and with the customer behavior changes, we have to adopt it. So this we have taken from TCS website. So basically how they define the digital transformation journey of any organization. So Horizon, it has divided the digital transformation journey into 3 parts. Horizon 1, it basically deals with building your digital core. Okay, so basically migrating your core processes to the cloud, or existing application that you already use, applications and processes that you are basically building a digital core around it. Horizon 2 is basically innovating your existing business model. So how do you innovate the existing business model so that you can gain the competitive advantage? Horizon 3, basically it is like an ecosystem formation. So suppose like Amazon and Google, how they have transformed their business model from an ecosystem, right? So not only they are focusing on a particular aspect of the business, but the ecosystem enablers, as they called. So that is the Horizon 3. So digital transformation is not easy, it is a complex. So why it is complex? Because presently organizations are working in the siloed network, right? As I've already stated that IT business is different, right? So and business decisions are taken differently. So siloed way of working is there. Of course, security and vulnerability has expanded a lot. Data overload. So data is the king, right? So because of that, data definitely plays a key role, and due to which data overload is also there. Automating the extraction of insights and actions is also complex, and of course integrating all these processes is also a complex part. And of course main part is the culture and the change management. So people ultimately are driving the organization. So people are ultimately driving the so people basically are driving the culture of any organization. So definitely people aspect has also be taken care of, otherwise digital transformation will not work, because it is the technology is only an enabler. Ultimately, how do you build your systems, processes and business around it, that will define the your business goals. So it is a complex thing. So now where does our IT services fit in this technology space? So if you see on the left hand side, we have global enterprises, right? So global enterprises like Fortune 500, if I take any example, right? So you have Walmart, City, Boeing, etc., right? So and on the other hand, we have these technology companies like Microsoft, AWS, Salesforce, Google Cloud, SAP and all. And see, this global enterprises like Fortune 500 company and for that matter Fortune 2000 companies, they are very good in the business aspects of the thing, but their technology understanding is not very good. On the other hand, we have technology companies, they are very good in this technology aspect, right? So how our IT services basically act as a bridge between the both, right? So because they are these companies also can provide the services, right? But why are they not providing? Because they are the technology company, they will innovate, right? And IT services basically acts as a bridge between the two. So we will always need the IT services as a bridge, so that the technology, how do you use it, and IT services has a deep understanding of business processes as well, and the technology aspect as well, so they can successfully manage both and help the global enterprises as well as the technology companies. So Indian IT services, how it has evolved over the years, we will see. So early 1990s, as you have seen that software exports was basically around only US 500 million. And previously it was application development, maintenance and testing deals were done. From late 90s to early 2000, ERP packages started coming, and ERP implementation was the basic theme. After that, from 2000 to 2015, infrastructure management became a big theme in the IT services market, right? And from 2016 onwards, cloud and digital has overtaken the IT services aspect, and now our IT exports have touched basically 150 billion. And how has technology evolved, and how has IT services adapted basically to it? From, if you see at pre 2000s, it was basically mainframe and client servers, so big computers and all were there, right? And client and server was the basic aspect of that. And from 2000, web development became the mainstay. So web servers came on, and then JavaScript and all came, right? And from 2010, backend infrastructure became more important. So infrastructure management and security services became more important. ER&D, right? Engineering, research and development, data center skills, mobile app development, and so on and so forth. And from 2015 and 2020 and beyond, more front-end skills are required. So customer experience became more important. So big data analytics, so UI, UX, right? Blockchain, IoT, and so AI, ML, software-defined network, and all these things have become a common state now. Now, digital and cloud, of course, are the major contributors to the growth, future growth. So IT services budget, if you see, traditional services still contributes about 70%, and digital services are contributing around the 30%, right? And IDC is expecting this opportunity to grow, digital market opportunity to be around 400 billion per year, right? So if you see at the traditional services like infrastructure management, so it was traditional data center. So now it has converted into cloud, because cloud is providing you infrastructure like compute, storage, and even virtualization, right? So cloud is basically digital services right now. So now software testing, if you see, now we are using AI, ML and all to automate the testing. So voice enabled services, now adoption of conversational AI that you have seen, right? Google, Siri and all, right? So we can just talk to them. So conversational AI has become the mainstay now. And of course, traditional CAD/CAM services, now it has become 3D printing, AI enabled design and all. And so this Gartner hype cycle is basically, see, if you see the Sensex, if we see the after COVID, IT stocks have rebounded a lot, right? So they have been trading at very premium cycle. So all were saying that digital spending will grow to such an extent. So it was basically very high inflated expectation. But now we have seen the market has been correcting, right? So trough of disillusionment, I would say. So now it has reached little low. But now when it will stabilize, that will be a plateau of productivity. So the technology cycle always goes to inflated expectation, and then it stabilizes and reaches a plateau. So this is what we are even observing in the digital field as well. Of course, there are many macroeconomic factors as well, but this is how the basically cycle works. So what are the tailwinds and headwinds in the industry? So IT BPM industry, as we say, it will grow 11 to 13%, right? Over the next 5 years, and it is contributing around 7.7% to the India's GDP, but it is expected to contribute to around 10% of the GDP by 2025. And of course, it is the third largest employer within the private sector, and India's market share in the global sourcing business is around 55%. Digital spending is growing at a faster rate as compared to the traditional services. And of course, the headwinds, now we will see, it is a very service focused business. So product based business is still low, right? So so that is a headwind. Next is the majority of the revenues come from the US, and it is can be a risk. So right now we are seeing that inflation is is around 40 years high. So inflation is around 40 years high in the United States, right? So that is having a negative effect on the US technology stocks, right? And of course the demand right now, it is stable, but it is expected the high inflation, definitely the budgetary constraints which the fortune companies have to cut, that can be expected. So definitely the clouds, the digital spending, the cloud spending can be a cut. Okay. So basically, what is happening is the industry, so the digital or cloud spending cut will be done by can be done by the Fortune 500 companies, and definitely this will affect the Indian IT services as well. So we are seeing some inflationary impact of the United. Even in the other developed markets like Europe, which Indian IT services are heavily dependent, they are also facing the other economic issues and geopolitical issues, basically Ukraine-Russia war. So that is affecting their GDP as well. So this is also a risk. Of course, foreign currency risk is there. High attrition is already affecting the IT industry, due to which their margins have been contracting, because the talent is not available, and the accelerated demand of the digital and cloud, and people have not invested. So these IT services companies have not invested, and nobody has seen that such a vast acceleration in the demand will come. So definitely they have I would say, invested in the talent, and due to which they are facing these issues. They are facing the supply side issues. And of course, it is a very concentrated industry, IT industry in India. Top 5 companies contribute maximum to the market share, and it is a very, very I would say competitive industry. It's a very, very competitive industry, and even so, TCS, it is having around market share of 2.6% in spite of being such a large company. And the top, which is Accenture, it is having around 4.5 to 5% of the market share. So even the top companies are having a very less market share. So it is very, very competitive industry. So now we will see about the Happiest Mind. So Happiest Mind, they claim they are a digital company, agile company, 97% digital and 93% agile business, as they say. And they have completed around 10 years of existence. They have started around 2011. So it is not a very old company, and its headquarters is in Bangalore, and they have operations in many countries like US, UK, Australia, and even Middle East. So IPO of it came around September 2020. So the target is to grow at 20% CAGR over the next 5 years, and after that they are expecting to grow around 1.5 times the industry growth. So their strategy going forward will be the acquisitions will be the key part of their growth trajectory, and of course they will fill in the gaps, like strengthen their offerings, entry into the new geographies, and strengthening the current geography, and of course focusing the deep focus in the different verticals as well. And they have planned to hire around 60% of their senior position to be filled internally. So their plan is to basically fill 60% of the senior positions internally. So we have already seen their global presence, and they have three main business units. So first, they are having product engineering services. So here the product is the prime focus, right? So engineering the digital projects which are smart, secure, and connected, like IoT, right? Internet of Things, and so on and so forth. Next business unit is digital business services. So we are already seeing the digital and cloud transformation and so on and so forth. Next is infrastructure management and security services, right? So infrastructure like your networking, your system design, and so on and so forth. And all these three are contributing. So if I look at the latest quarter, so 46% revenues come from the product engineering services. Digital business is contributing around 29%, and 22% is from infrastructure management and security services. So their revenue mix, digital revenue mix basically, which is 97% of their overall revenue. Your digital and infrastructure cloud is 42% in FY21. So it is contributing maximum. In FY22, it is around 43.6%. And then next is software as a services. And after that, analytics, then Internet of Things, security, and others. In the vertical mix, so in the vertical mix, if you see, so this is in deviation with the other IT companies like Infosys and TCS, which are primarily depend on the BFSI vertical. Here they have highest contribution from the edutech vertical, right? But it is also as you know that edutech space, they are laying many of the workers, right? So many of the employees have been laid off, basically due to the drying of funds. So that can be a risk to the company. So next is the high tech vertical, and after that retail and consumer products. Then travel, media and entertainment is contributing around 13.2. Then BFS around 8.6. Then industrial products around 6.9, and then others around 8.8%. So USA is contributing maximum to the revenue mix, which is around 66.5% in FY22. So it has come down from FY21, which was 73.4%. And second is India, which is 14.1%. They also have platforms. So basically these are the platforms. So like they have digital content monetization platforms, and they have big data analytics platform university for the edutech vertical, which is Uniview, and they have Think Center. This is IoT platform, Internet of Things platform. They have 3 center of excellence which are focused on Internet of Things, analytics, AI, and digital process automation. And the IPs and solution accelerators, they are currently 7, and their R&D investments are basically around 2% of the revenues. This is in line with the other IT companies as well. So basically they spend around 1.1 to 2% of their overall revenues in the R&D investments. So digital, as we see that overall the contribution to the revenue is around 97% across the quarters, and same with agile, it is around 94% across the quarter. Next, we'll see the client metrics. So top 20 are contributing around 60%, but top 1 client is contributing around 13%. So that is a big risk, client concentration risk. Repeat revenues are around 85 to 85%. It was 87% in FY21, so it has decreased. So basically, it should for Infosys and all other companies, it is around 90% plus. So of course, definitely, the better the repeat revenues, the better it is for the companies. So that they client mining. So client mining is a very important aspect in the IT services. So definitely, why it is important? Because it will bring the predictability of the revenue. So higher the repeat revenues, better it is. And how many $1 million customers have also increased for them from 25 in FY20 to now 38 in FY22. And they have good customer happiness score as well. Employee metrics, if we see, they have added strong 22% during FY22. Basically, most of it was related to attrition, as well as, of course, demand scenarios also increased. And utilization levels have been around 80 to 82% over the quarters. So now offshore on-site mix, so you can see that 96% is offshore as compared to on-site, which is only 4.1%. So basically what is offshoring? So offshoring is the employees, they are delivering the services to the clients of the Happiest Minds by staying in India as well. India only. They do not have to travel to their client's location, right? And on-site is basically the percentage of people who are going to the client's location and delivering the services to them. So of course, more it is, so better will be your margins, right? Offshore. So I would say that offshore mix is more, then definitely the cost of delivery in India is less. So definitely the margins will be more for this company, right? So as we can see that the margins is better. This is one of the reasons why the margins are better. Attrition has definitely increased for all the IT companies and for even for Happiest Minds, and now it is 22.7%. Now, service delivery model. So how are the projects realized, right? So how are the projects constructed? So there are 2 types of projects: fixed price projects and time and material. So in Happiest Minds case, 25% of the revenues comes from fixed price projects, and time and material around 75%. So in time, and of course, so time and material projects are basically you are providing the resources directly to the company, and they will use and based on the number of hours and how much time they are spending, you will charge the client. And fixed price project is basically you are taking the whole project delivery by yourself. So the whole project delivery will be done by yourself, and For in this case, the project management skills have to be very good. Otherwise, there can be cost overruns and it can be unfruitful for the company. And women employees, they have good around 27% in FY22, and Glassdoor ratings are also very good. They are expecting to hire around 300 joinees by August 2022, and they will double the employees for the next year. So campus hiring is expected to be around 300 joinees by August 22, and they will double it to 600 for the next year. They have also expanded their capacity in the locations like Bengaluru, Noida, Pune, and Bhubaneswar. So there have been even so now we will see the awards and recognition. So they have been awarded by NESCOM in digital content monetization solution. They are major contender for digital engineering by the Everest Group, and Zenov has also recognized them as a enterprise software leader and leader for ER&D services, but in small and medium service provider. Now we'll see the financials. So now total income, as you can see, it has grown at a good rate of around 24% CAGR over the years from FY18 to FY22. EBITDA has grown at a very rapid rate at 150% from FY18 to 22, which suggests that margins have been increasing. So we can see that margins have been increasing from 1.6% in FY18 to now around 26.1%. From FY21 to FY22, margins have slightly decreased, as we all know that the attrition problem has increased across the industry, and the headwinds due to which even Happiest Minds is facing. That is why the margins have decreased. Same case for even PAT, that PAT has decreased. The PAT PAT margins have decreased from 25.4% in FY21 to 16% in FY22. This was also the same reason, due to the supply side issues. Free cash flow to EBITDA is also good. Around 99% of the EBITDA they are able to convert into free cash flow, which is a very good thing. And return on equity is also expanding. But in FY22, it has decreased due to the margin compression. So Ashok Soota, he was earlier the chairman and MD of Mindtree, and he was a co-founder, and he also led the Wipro's IT business. He is currently the executive chairman, and I would say he is the main face behind the company. But it is also a negative point, because too much of I would say decisions is made by Ashok Soota. Okay, and he is also and why it is negative? Because he is old also. He is around 75 plus years of age. Okay, so that is a negative point. Other than that, the other management like Joseph, Rajiv Shah, Ram Mohan, all have good pedigree. I'm not saying that they are not good. The pedigrees are good, but it is just that too much focus is on Ashok Soota. So what will be there? I would say that too much focus is on Ashok Soota. So how will they deliver? So the succession planning is very. So what I would say, that succession planning is not very clear. So that is very important, that we have to see that. So this is an important risk in the company. So audit and remuneration committees are also well represented by independent members. And the increase in remuneration of higher management is low as compared to the overall remuneration of employees, which is a good thing. Shareholding pattern, as you can see that Indian promoters are around 54%, but DIIs have been reducing the stake, and FIIs have also reduced the stake. So DIIs are hardly 1%, 1.5%. So most of the shareholding is by retail individual investors, as you can see 39%, apart from the promoters. And Ashok Soota holds the majority of the stake, which is around 41%. Share price, as we know that after listing, it has given a very good returns, 129%. But in the last 1 year, it has only given negative returns, which is minus 31%. As we know that IT companies were already trading at very premium valuation, and due to which the correction has happened in every stock. So it is not a new thing. So even in Infosys, TCS, and even in Mindtree, every stock has underperformed in the last one. So now valuation we can see so now in valuation, first we'll see the peer comparison. So we see the total number of active clients for Happiest Mind is 206. Of course, for TCS it is highest because it is a very big company as compared to the others. Revenue per employee, we can see that this is based on TTM, last 12 months. So we can see that Happiest Mind is having 227 lakh revenue per employee, whereas Mastech is having the highest, which is 44. Utilization rate, the more the better. So for Scient it is 86%, but for Happiest Mind it is 80. But yes, utilization it should not be too high, because if it is too high, then attrition is a very important phenomena in the IT services companies. So if utilization is too high, then definitely it will hamper your delivery, because you will need the attrition is also there, and you will need the service delivery. You have to give the service delivery to your clients, right? And how many employees have they added on percentage basis in the quarter-on-quarter basis? So Happiest Mind has added around 3.6%. Zensar has highest. Attrition rate is around 22-23% for Happiest Minds, and lowest is for TCS, which is only 17.4. Free cash flow as a percentage of PAT is 96% for Happiest Minds, and around for Zensar it is the highest. Receivable days, so only 56 for Happiest Minds, and for Emphasis it is the best. Employee cost, it is around 56%. So most of you will see from 50 to 60% employee cost is there. So for Happiest Mind it is good, 56%. EBIT margins, as of course TCS has the very good margins, around 25%, and for Happiest Mind it is 21%, which is also good. For 3-year sales CAGR, we can see that for Happiest Mind it is very good, 23%, and for Mastech it is the highest, and 3-year PAT CAGR is highest for Happiest Mind, around 135%. Dividend yield is around 0.5%, and of course for Tech Mahindra it is 4.5%. On TTM basis, last 12-month basis, PE for Happiest Mind is very high, 67 currently, as compared to TCS. TCS is now trading at 31, and Infosys is around 28. So you can see that it is having very high valuation. Even LTI, which is a mid-cap company, it is 31, and Birlasoft, which is around 21. So basically, Happiest Mind is trading at a very high valuation, I would say, premium valuation. So that is also a risk. EV to EBITDA, if we see, it is once again highest for Happiest Minds, and return on equity, which shows your performance execution capability. So that is for TCS is very good, 44%, and for Happiest Minds it's a. So for return on equity, if you see, it is very good for TCS, it is around 44%. Happiest Minds it is around 22%. So overall summary, we'll see what are the positives and negative. So positive things, I would say that it is a 97% digital, as they say. So that is a good thing. Why it is a good thing? Because the digital aspect of the IT services, it will grow at a faster rate as compared to the traditional IT services. So definitely the company has a good future in that. It has experienced management. So that is a good thing, because Ashok Soota has delivered. So Mindtree was a brain. So he was one of the co-founders in Mindtree, and other management team are also very experienced. So that is a good thing. So next, I would say that digital and cloud has become the mainstay now. So there are plenty of tailwinds, because the accelerated demand which has generated after the COVID will definitely help the IT services, and also the Happiest Minds, which has maximum proportion of its revenues from digital. What are the negative points? Competition is very high in this industry, as we have seen that market share even of TCS is only 2.6%, and the highest which is Accenture is around 4.5%. Not much differentiation is there, and scale does bring a lot of benefits. Why scale does bring a lot of benefits? So I would say, when there is a slowdown in the economy, so definitely the clients, what they will do, they will cut back their spending. But the big giants, they definitely have the capability to withstand these pressures, right? So they can definitely withstand these slowdown pressures better as compared to the small and mid cap sector. Valuation is very high for Happiest Minds, because we have already seen that 67 P is there as compared to other IT services. Dependency on Mr. Suta is high, so that is also a risk in a corporate aspect. Lack of focus, because they have too many verticals and they are focused on product engineering services as well as also the IT services. So I would say that being a small cap, they should have focused on the niche skills and niche verticals and gain in-depth exposure. Rather than that, they are doing each and everything. So I would say lack of focus is also a negative point. And still there is no CEO of the whole company. So Mr. Suta is only executive chairman, and there is not a CEO of the whole company. There are CEO of business segments, but not the CEO of the whole company. So thank you for listening so patiently. And if you have any questions, please do mention them in the comments. It will be very relevant for all of us. Thank you.